Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here with the Performance Lab of California. We're going to do another breakdown here today on Joe Namath. We've got a few people that have gave us the recommendation to do Joe Namath. I'm going to give a shout out to Ed Dundas because he actually called and was like, "Hey, man, you got to do Joe Namath." So, after getting a phone call, you have to do the breakdown on the guy. You want to give you a quick shout out there, Ed. Appreciate the call. And we're going to do the breakdown. So, Joe Namath, going through and watching him throw, he is a one of the purest, the first really pure passer that the NFL ever had. And there's some things that he does that we've seen, and it seems like are almost timeless within the throwing motion that are crucial parts of making it all work. And one of the things that you see is how he's able to almost push off that back leg and raise upwards as he's pushing off that back leg. And what that means is, one of the things that I talked about in the last breakdown that we did as well is, one of the common problems that I see within athletes is that there's either the inability to press off of the back leg well or inability to absorb well in the front leg. And you could see what Joe Namath, what he does is such a great ability to do both, is really get that good, solid push off that back leg. You can see how he begins that pivot early there, gets that knee facing straight down, also raises up in his body, and then he's so strong at pushing off of that front leg that he actually gets such a nice smooth, and you can see it better from with the next angle that we see, but he gets such a smooth hip rotation from his ability to push off that back leg and then continue rotation through that front leg. And it's just really good lower body mechanics. So in terms of upper body, when you see him coming through, he does a good job of pulling that front arm and making so that's what guides that rotation, and he uses that core. He puts a great stretch on the anterior oblique system, which is what runs from the front part of the shoulder down to the front hip. And then as he comes through, you can see that he could probably do a better job of actually getting that ball when he's releasing to be more inside rather than getting the ball away from the elbow. The thing with this angle, though, is that he is throwing it kind of to the side. So the ball is going this way. So if he was throwing it, more straight maybe or more off to the side, he maybe would do a better job of, keeping that ball in a good position. But, even if he doesn't, there's benefits that he has from that. I mean, he's going to end up putting a little bit more stress on the elbow, but the benefits is that he has the ability to put so much more rotation in his trunk, which is what helps him really deliver the throw. So, that's as always, we're going to look to see some critiques and some, and also look at the good things that the quarterback does. So, going on to the next one here. Again, what he does is just an excellent job pushing off that back leg, and that helps get those hips rotating through and opening up there. And then from there, once he gets the rotation and the spine, now he has the full anterior oblique subsystem again. Just all these muscles here just totally stretch. And this is actually, the reason I bring this up is because this is not an easy thing to achieve, right? This is something that I know within the lab, I'm on a daily basis trying to coach guys on how to get this and trying to open up the T-spine, get the obliques to work right, get the hips to rotate. Some people, are able to get it a lot more naturally than others. And there's things that you have to work in order to get there. I mean, let's just go through all the great things that he does that allow you to be able to get to this range. First, he does a good job pushing off that back leg and being able to begin rotation here. Just this simple rotation that he has here in those hips to start off the throw is a great ability to rotate within the hips, and also having a lot of stabilization within that upper hamstring and kind of lower glute area that is also very, very important. So that's a big part that you have to have. You have to have a great ability to have mobility in the hips to be able to rotate, and also a lot of stability to be able to take on that load that he's then transferring onto that front leg. Also, great deal of ankle range of motion. I mean, we work the foot a ton both with sprinters as well as with quarterbacks, and that's just because there's so much that goes on with the foot and so many limitations that happen just because you can't transfer on that front leg correctly. So that's another thing that he does very, very well. Next thing is that he puts that stretch on the pec, right? So see how when he comes through, he gets that elbow to come through as he's also rotating in the spine. So the ball isn't moving very much in terms of the positioning, but his whole body is torquing and making it so he's putting a bigger amount of stretch in the trunk and the hips and everything, and then he just unleashes that on the ball. So that's again, it's a rare thing to do. It's hard to be able to accomplish it, but you have to be able to work the right ranges of motion within the body and also be able to work the right strength. I mean, it goes hand in hand. You have to have the strength and you have to have the range of motion. Another good example, and this is the last one here, where he's stepping. You can see again he's getting that good transfer onto the front leg, and he just smoothly goes right into landing on that front leg and continuing the movement. Okay, so you guys don't want to see that movement stopping at all until that ball is about to leave the hand. There's too many guys that I see sending the breakdowns, coming to the lab, that as you're coming through, you're stopping your momentum before you're releasing the ball. Just think about being able to keep that momentum going forward in as many different areas you can. See, even his knee is continuing to move outside. That front knee is continuing to move outside. That front hip is continuing to rotate. That spine is continuing to rotate until he throws the ball. And all that inertia, all that movement is happening is what allows him to be able to generate the force that he does. So, yeah, I mean, Joe Namath is one of the best, and his release is very, very well done. You know, if we want to actually look at the arm, we're able to get the same stuff here. He has a little bit of shoulder range of motion that he can improve on. So as he goes through, he has to kind of, when he's about right here, he has to go into a good amount of lumbar extension, right? Which just tells us, whoops, sorry. When you have to go into the lumbar extension, that just tells us that you're losing a little bit of shoulder range of motion, okay? And it's not the end of the world. It helps him in coming through and getting the flexion, but there is some shoulder range of motion. And you can even tell as he's coming through, he has a kind of a hiccup right there where he has to kind of bring the arm around in order to get the ball up, which is, again, I mean, it's not a huge limiting factor. You can just tell that he didn't have the, most shoulder range of motion that, the optimal shoulder range of motion, I guess, or the most optional shoulder range of motion. He had the shoulder range of motion to get it all done, and, that's what's most important. You have to be able to train that, though. You have to have the strength and the mobility within the shoulder joint in order to, throw the ball the right way. I think that, if you don't have the right ranges, this is something that we work a lot with our strength program, is we work on being able to achieve as many different ranges as you can within that shoulder. You need to be able to go into external rotation, internal rotation, flexion, extension. Your shoulder needs to be able to move in all the directions that it can. And too often, just because there's not a good understanding of the anatomy of the shoulder and how the shoulder is supposed to be working, the strength programs end up limiting your ability to access your shoulder instead of improving on it. And that's one of the things that, Joe Namath does well, is he has the functional range. It's not hindering him. He doesn't have all the possible ranges that he can, but that's one of the things that we work, is we go even to the next level. We say we're going to give you all the different ranges that you can within the shoulder to keep that shoulder healthy and make it so it can work 100%. And that goes with the breakdowns and the training with our throw program. I mean, I think the throw program has been really, really helpful for people. That's why I always talk about it in these videos. I think it's a great thing for you to utilize if you're a quarterback that's working on trying to improve their mechanics and is serious about improving their mechanics. So yeah, I mean, it's something I believe in. I'm going to keep on telling you guys about it just because I know that if you do it, you're going to see huge improvements in your ability to create the right type of force within your throw and work on your mechanics, as well as being able to achieve the, get the shoulder strength and the shoulder range that you need. And those two put together are going to make you into a lot better quarterback. So, yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching these videos. Subscribe. If you have any questions, don't reach out to or don't hesitate to reach out. My email is info@yourperformancelab.com. That's the general one. If you want to reach me personally, it's Morey, Morey, @yourperformancelab.com. All right, thanks guys, and talk to you soon.